Hello, everyone. This is Ryan Sparks. I'm the disc golf dad, and I wanted to do one of those tier maker videos because they seem to be really popular right now and they look like they're fun. And it's the holiday season, so I'm a little bored. So I am actually a mass communicator for the military. So my job is to help the military communicate as well as push out our information that we have to make sure that the taxpayers know what we're doing with their money. And so part of that is social media and kind of branding to an extent. And so I wanted to do a tier maker ranking the top 32 players in the Disc Golf Pro Tour based on their social media skills. All right. So first comes first. I'm going to start right here. We've got Adam Hammis. All right. So his was interesting. I was going through the way I'm doing this. I kind of looked at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and just kind of looked at the type of content that they're putting together, as well as the message they're trying to send based on what I can see. So with Adam, he's got really good stuff, but it's not a lot of stuff, and it's not very consistent. So I feel like he's someone that could do really good things when it comes to being a communicator or I guess an image on social media. So for me, I'm putting him in the why don't they post more because I think he's got good stuff. I just want to see more from him. And then next, I've got Anthony Barella. Um, and so for Anthony Barella, he was in the similar. They're actually friends, him and Adam Hammis, and similar category. But with AB, it was kind of all over the place. It was spurts. So he'd post a ton over a short period of time, and then nothing for a long period of time. So it was kind of like I want to see more, but there's not a lot of variety in the posts. So I'm just gonna put present. He's there. All right. So Barsby, Greg Barsby, world champ. So he and I are about the same age. He looks like he's getting into social media a bit more, but you can also tell that social media is not his forte. So I'm gonna put him in. I'm on the face space. He he's there. He just doesn't maybe know exactly what he's doing in terms of those things. All right. So next we've got Jeremy Colling. This one kind of surprised me. I'm going to be honest. I expected him to have a huge presence because of the Jomez stuff and everything. But really, it ended up, just kind of being there. Um, he's got good stuff on Instagram, but not really much anywhere else. So for Big Germ, just going to be present. All right, next, Kale Laviska. So I know Kale. Got to work with him a little bit up in North Dakota to get a course put in. The guy's just awesome. And the one thing that Kale does is he is always um, repping the work that he's doing with Airborne, with the Preserve, and with Prodigy. And so for him, it was an easy one for me. I'm putting him as brand ambassador. What that means is, he's constantly churning out stuff. There's things going on his sites all the time, and it's all around the same exact theme that he wants people to see this brand. So I think that was a really easy fit for him. Then we've got Calvin Heimberg. So Calvin Heimberg, people know his personality. They see him as the guy that is, he's very dry when it comes to his presence in interviews, things like that, and he's a very quirky guy. And he doesn't have much of a social media presence, and I wasn't really surprised by that. Um, I think he could be very good on social media because he's kind of a mystery, so people would like to see his personality. But for that, I'm on the face space. He's there, but doesn't really seem to be doing anything. Next, we got Jordan Castro. Jordan Castro, he actually surprised me too. He doesn't have a lot on different platforms. But the one thing I saw with him was that he is hardcore pushing his brand. He's with MVP, and MVP was everywhere. So I'm putting him up here as brand ambassador because you know what you're going to get. You're getting MVP when you go to his page. Next person is Chris Dickerson. Honestly, one of my favorite players. He's got a YouTube channel that I really, really love. He's got this family connection that really builds his likability, and I want to see more of that. So part of me wanted to put him in the why don't they post more, but he's also a very big brand guy. So when it comes to Instagram and other things like that, he's doing a good job of making sure that people understand, Prodigy is his family and that he's loving what he's doing there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him up in there in the brand ambassador tier as well. Next, we got Chris Clemens. So Chris Clemens, someone that I don't really know a lot about, um, but I went on his pages and he's got mostly an Instagram presence, um, but he definitely seems like a really great guy. He does show a little bit of personal things on his accounts, which is good. So I kind of really want to see more. I want to know why he does the things that he does, who he is, things like that. He seems like a really genuine guy. That would be awesome to get to know. So I want to see that from him. Next, we have Colton Montgomery. So Colton Montgomery is another one of those kind of in between a couple for me. He's there, he's present, he's on social media, but he doesn't have a lot of consistent posts or a lot of content coming onto like his YouTube channel or things like that. He actually makes more of a presence, I think, on Kona's site than his own. And for that, I want to see a lot of that. I think their relationship, their chemistry in the posts are really awesome. And I think that would be really awesome to see more. But when it comes to just Colton, I think, right now, he's just present. He's there. Next is Eagle. Um, Eagle, plain and simple, he is a great social media presence. I'm watching everything he puts up. The reason for that is the quality of the content's there. So he's pushing out good content, but he's also got high quality equipment to make sure that it is good and consumable. And he's consistent with posting, and he is also very open to giving his opinions, views, things like that, and that is very captivating when it comes to an audience. Next is Ezra, another person I know from my time in North Dakota. He is an interesting one because right now he's dealing with his Instagram is hacked, which is awful. I hope that gets fixed and he can get back on it. But right now, he is one of the up and comers in the sport. We all have heard his name. We've all seen the pictures with his ripped arms, and he is kind of that guy that everybody is talking about right now. And he's also putting out some good stuff. He's putting out review videos. He's putting out different types of challenges and some ridiculous things where he was throwing a basket. So I'm putting him actually up there with Eagle, that I'm going to watch everything because he's a likable guy and he's putting out a lot of different content on multiple platforms. All right, next we have Gavin Rathbun. Sorry if I said that wrong. With him, I looked around and, with Facebook, it's hard because a lot of them just have their personal Facebook. So if I'm not friends with them, I can't really see what they're posting most of the time. But with him, it was just kind of there. He's present. Not a real. Doesn't seem to be like pushing hard on social media, but he's got a social media presence, and can get his name out there. Now, Drew Gibson. Drew Gibson is like very good at social media. Um, he is very, very consistent. He's got a lot of stuff that comes out. And the thing that I had that kept him from going in the I'm watching everything tier for me was because I feel like there's not enough of like getting to know Drew, like really seeing who he is. It's really just focused on brand growth and things like that, which is fine. So I'm putting him there as a brand ambassador. He's also really good at helping with form. So check that out because he did a critique for me, and I probably gained about 50 to 70 feet over the last few months, which is awesome. All right, Thomas Gilbert is next. Let's see here. So with Thomas, um, he he's the type of guy that he had a stretch before COVID where he was posting a lot on YouTube, and I really liked the content he was putting out, and it's good. But then it just kind of fizzled out, and I haven't seen too much from him lately, so I'm just kind of marking him as present. And all right, so next is Garrett Gerthy. Garrett Gerthy is one of the most like captivating presences on the tour. Everybody sees his personality, and you can't help but smile. Um, so he seems like he's there on social media. It's getting there, but it's not. There's not really much going on. His Instagram has a lot. It's consistent, puts a lot on there, and seems really, really genuine. So for him, I want to see more because he's got that great personality. I think we would all love to see that a little bit more. Next is Austin Hannum. If you haven't been following what Austin Hannum has been doing on Twitter lately, you're you're behind and you need to do it. He's got the hot takes coming in. Those hot takes makes him a polarizing person, right? Um, Same with like Brody Smith and things like that. People can love or hate what you have to say, and if you go that route, that is awesome because polarizing means you're gonna get followers and you're gonna get people talking, and that's kind of the goal of social media is to be on people's minds and their words. So for Austin, while he is seems to be pretty new to the social media game, I'm putting him in the why don't they post more? I want to see more from him. I want to see him keep doing those hot takes. I think it's great. All right, next we have James Conrad. This one was pretty simple. Um, doesn't really have much of a social media presence, and so he's going on. I'm on the face space. Next is Emerson Keith. This one, I've you see Emerson and you see the relationship and his daughter, and uh, it's just really awesome to see the stuff that he puts out, but there's not a lot of it. So easy for me to put. Why don't they post more? The family stuff, and the wholesome content that he puts up is always gonna draw people in. So I want to see more from there. Next is Kevin Jones. Kevin Jones is another one. He's mostly just on Instagram. Um, what he does post on Instagram seems to be pretty solid quality. I don't think it's anything other than probably a cell phone or borrowing photos from others. Um, But we've seen with a lot of the like skins matches this year, he's got a really fun personality. Seems like probably one of the goofiest guys on tour. So I want to see more from him. I'd love to see a YouTube page, maybe a vlog started. It'd be really awesome to be able to see and uh, get to know him a little more. Next, we've got Kyle Klein. So I noticed he's got a YouTube channel. It's starting to build a little bit, but seems to be pretty basic. So hopefully that quality can improve over time. Because production value does really bring people in. So he's starting to build his social media presence because he is a new player, and new players takes a little time to learn. So I'm gonna put him as present. All right, next we got Simon. Do I need? I don't think I even need to talk about this one, but I'm watching everything. Uh, Simon is probably the benchmark for disc golf media right now. If you want to have an example to strive to be, it is him. So everything he puts out is great. He's really genuine guy, putting out all kinds of different content over different mediums and platforms. So yeah, he's the guy. Next, we've got Andrew Marweed, and I'm gonna go ahead and lump him in with Andrew Presnell as well. So the two Andrews, both of them, I Presnell had a YouTube channel that kind of fell off, and then his other accounts are just kind of sporadic, and that's kind of the same with Marweed. They're both on social media, but they're not really doing much. Um, and I think it would be cool to see more from them, but for right now, the Andrews are going to present. So Presnell and Marweed there. All right, Nico. I was just talking about polarizing. It probably isn't much more of a polarizing character in disc golf than Nicola Castro because of his passion and his drive. So for me, this was an easy one. I want to see more. I really do. He's got a bit of a presence on Instagram, and it's mostly sporadic. So I want to see him do more. I want to see people get to know him a little bit more. He's a love or hate guy for a lot of people, and I think a lot more people would probably love him if they got to know him a little more. So I'd love to see that from him. Then next we got Noah Mainsma. Can't remember exactly how to say that. But he's on social media. Doesn't seem that it's a priority necessarily for him. So I've got him in there as he's present. He's there. Next, Eric Oakley. So Eric Oakley, he's got some very good stuff. He's got the Whale Pants YouTube page, and he's on a lot with him and his wife Tina. And I love that family. I love that family focus. So believe it or not, I've got him at I'm watching everything because you get to see a lot of different sides of him. You get to see his accomplishments, things he's doing in the sport, but you also get to see about him and who he is and his family. So that's what I'm putting. All right, next one, Philo. So Philo, his social media actually seems to be mostly focused on branding and clinics and things like that. So I'm gonna put him as a brand ambassador because he does seem to be doing well there. Paul, a year ago, I would have put Paul down as present, but now with the YouTube channel doing a lot more work, probably influence from Brody getting him on that. I'm jumping him all the way up to I'm watching everything because he's putting up a lot of different things like the local route stuff that he's doing, some different field work type things. Him and Hannah have been doing a great job. So I think it's easy, top player in the world. People want to watch what he's doing. Um, and that kind of is the same exact thing for Ricky. Ricky is a goofball, and he's been doing a lot of good things. Going through his like recovery plan and how he got that. That opened him up a lot. People got to see who he is, and I think that is very very smart. So I think he's a very social media savvy person, and he's doing a great job of building that persona that people can grow to love. Then we've got Terry Roethlisberger. Um, I went and looked on his, and it seems like he's there. Social media is existent, but it's nothing special and doesn't seem to be maybe too much of a focus. Nothing wrong with that, but that's where I'm putting him. And then next we have Ulabari. And so for him, everything that I've seen from him is quality. He's got some really, really good stuff going. I think it's Down the Fairway, I believe it's called. He's got a bunch of episodes on YouTube. Um, and his Instagram's good, and he's just a really, really good personality. And he does a great job of maintaining, I guess, the same exact theme and the same voice. So his voice stays the same throughout all of his platforms, all the posting he's doing. He doesn't change who he is for different platforms, things like that. So easy to me to put him at I'm watching everything. So there you go. Go ahead and rip me apart if you want to. I'm not the foremost expert in social media, but I do think I'm pretty solid at it. So let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.